My friends, could it just keep happening? Could GoldenEye's oldest record be on the verge of being improved yet again? Caverns Agent 101 was originally set by the ineffable Marc on July 3rd, 2011, more than 10 years ago, and in the time since, 36 other speedrunners have matched the time, but no one has managed to beat it. As GoldenEye's speedrun world records continue to fall and records from years past continue to be improved upon, one can only naturally wonder, my friends, is Caverns Agent 1 minute possible? But before we get to that, here's something that's definitely possible: having a ton of fun with IdleFirefighterTycoon, the great sponsor for today's video. It's a game where basically you manage resources to grow your firefighting empire and battle the blazes and emergencies in your cities. Now, it's called Idle Firefighter because of the game's main feature, it working in the background, progressing, and earning in-game money for you even while you're offline. I always enjoy games like this since I can kind of ambiently attend to them in the background while doing something else like speedrunning or editing videos. I just clicked back into Idle Firefighter after a speedrun session, and this is how much in-game money it made. Wow! There are new events every week called Live Ops, where you can build a bonus town in a tropical paradise and compete Monday to Sunday for great prizes in-game. You can now create 2 cities with 3 emergency departments each with fire trucks and ambulances, and unlock a great range of elite fire captains by opening chests who boost your station's efficiency even more. And you can try it out through the link in my description now, so have fun, and a huge thanks to IdleFirefighterTycoon for sponsoring this video, and here we go. So, Caverns Agent 101 is actually the second oldest world record currently standing in the game, behind only Damned Secret Agent 116. Both are legendary records set by Marc in his best prime back in 2011. We know lower than 116 is possible on Damned Secret Agent with either the window shot alarms or the piggyback strategy, which I've covered in a recent video. So that's why today we're taking a look at Caverns Agent 101. Achieved on July 3rd, 2011, Caverns Agent 101 has stood for over 10 years. If it remains the world record for only a few more months, it'll break into the top 10 all-time longest standing world records in GoldenEye history. So there's a lot at stake. When Marc first achieved the time back in 2011, he wrote this comment, which, as we'll find out, seems almost prophetic looking back all these years later. Flawless strafing except a small 0.1 stuck, if even that, near the drone, very sweet ending warp, took about 13 to 15 hours, had around 40 102s. 1 minute is possible with the right boost ratio, but anything less than 100 hours for that would be lucky. Even if you get the boosts, you still need to get boosted past the drone, which is kind of rare, and nail the insane lift warp. 101 was definitely one of the easier untides at this moment, and I'm surprised nobody else really went for it. It is going to get tied by a handful in the future, I'm sure. Now, if you're uncertain what all that means just yet, we will get into it. So it's time to put on your diving gear and really spelunk into what makes Caverns Agent the speedrun it is. So Caverns Agent is a stage where there's only one objective: minimize scientist casualties, and you don't even encounter scientists on the agent difficulty, so in practice the levels truly just run to the end. This gives it the feel of a time trial stage, more like in Mario Kart or any other racing game. Just be fast and get to the end of the course. This means, in GoldenEye terms, that your speed is highly dependent on how many guard boosts you get, making it based largely on a mix of getting good luck, but also having great consistency to take advantage of runs where you do get that luck. Now, to remind you, a boost is when you get shot from behind, pushing additional momentum forward, and this speeds you up briefly, saving about 0.3 seconds per boost. Whereas a back boost is the opposite, getting shot from the front, pushing your momentum backwards, losing about 0.3 seconds. Of the runs that ended up being 101, we'll experience something like survivor's bias. They'll all be good, successful runs with positive boost ratios. And of course, the runs that got a lot of back boosts or no forward boosts didn't end up being 101. So keep in mind that behind this group of Caverns Agent 101s we're going to look at in a few moments, that there is a mountain of runs that just never amounted to anything. So I watched every single 101 on the world rankings, all 37, and here's how they break down boost-wise. The most common boost ratio for a Caverns 101 is 4-0. That's 4 forward boosts, 0 back boosts, a 4-0 ratio. 14 of the 37 101s in the rankings have that exact boost ratio. Is it possible to do with fewer? Well, indeed, yes. 2 runs on the rankings feature a 4-1 ratio, 4 forwards and 1 back. These are the runs of El Qwerty and Frost Hops. So it could be said that these runs have a +3 ratio, 3 more boosts than back boosts. Similarly, there are 7 runs with only a 3-0 ratio, including the runs of legendary players like Clem or Perfect Ace. Would you expect anything different? Marc Rutsu's original 101 is claimed to have had only 3 boosts, though his video is lost media, something we've discussed in a previous video, and his first duplication of the time has the similar 4-1 boost ratio. +3 is the lowest boost ratio anyone has ever achieved a 101 with. No one has ever done a 101 with only 1 or 2 boosts. Alright, so that covers 23 of our 37 runs. What do the others look like? Well, a stunning 10 of them have a very healthy 5-0 boost ratio. This is about as much as you'd hope for on a run that isn't absolutely blessed by the speedrun gods, though it's still pretty blessed. One additional run, that of Oscar P, has a 6-1 ratio, so it's still +5 boosts. He does get back boosted by the drone in the tunnel, but then gets a nice boost into the lift to help make up for it. 2 more runs, those of Kaido and Jani Pitkanen, both Finnish fellows, feature 6-0 boost ratios. Is there something in the water in Finland? Who knows, but it is funny that these are the only 2 6-0 runs on the rankings. Now, I know what you already might be thinking. If 3-0 can get 101, then 6-0, an additional 3 boosts, each which save maybe 0.3 seconds, might save almost 1 additional second, thus almost making 1 minute possible. And this might be true. Of course, our belief that each boost saves roughly 0.3 seconds is just that, a loose estimate. Some boosts might save more or less, depending on direction of shot versus direction of strafe, the various lag factors ongoing at the moment of the boost, and all in all, it's not an exact science. However, 1 minute will be all but confirmed possible if we look at the one remaining 101 we haven't mentioned yet. That of Australian funny man, Samo Sammy. Samo Sammy is well known in the community for not just being a speedrun grinder and telling funny jokes on stream, but also for his amazing parody videos of fellow niche Australian wristwatch YouTuber Archie Luxury. So suffice to say, Samo is quite the madman. Samo's embarked on a number of endurance testing grinds and journeys for GoldenEye World Records over his career. And while he's a perfectly decent and competent GoldenEye speedrunner, it's safe to say he's no Perfect Ace or Marc Rutsu. I mean, who really is? And thus, Samo's quest for 101 became really something epic. After 155 hours of play and 57 duplications of Caverns Agent 102, Samo was finally blessed by the gods of speedrunning themselves with this 8-boost speedrun. You can really see how elated Samo was, and we were all elated for him. Sometimes you just need to catch a lucky break in this game. And while the run is truly inspiring and we're all happy for him, one can't help but wonder, what if one of the players who got 101 with only 3 boosts was at the helm for a run with 8 boosts? Even further, there is at least one more relatively common boost that Samo didn't get on this run from this AR-33 guard on the catwalk. So could a 9 boost run be possible? Well, absolutely. And while this may be the kind of thing that only happens once every 150 hours, it definitely shows that all the ingredients are there to create a Caverns Agent 1-minute untied world record. All you need is perfect strafing, the kind of strafing that can get 101 with a mere 3 boosts, and then to combine this with a run that has 6 or 7 or 8 boosts. And bingo bango, that would have a very good shot at 1 minute. And what I'm about to tell you might sound even more insane, but given 3 boosts and get 101, and we know you can plausibly get a 9 boost run, the ingredients are pretty close to being all there for a time of Caverns 59. But we can cross that bridge when we get there. As a side note, Samo's 101 is arguably not even the most insane 101. Another lesser-known speedrunner, Zach Mulock, took a claimed 450 hours to score the time. What makes Mulock's run so interesting is that he doesn't shoot at the beginning to lure guards, something that is very effective in getting these boosts more consistently. He really marched to his own beat, played the way he wanted to play, and perhaps this contributed him to taking way more time than usual. But even so, he got the time, which is quite inspiring any way you want to cut it. Now, time to discuss Marc's original prophecy when he first got the time, specifically the drone back boost. On a normal run of Caverns Agent, there's a very good chance that this drone at the end of this tight hallway will give you a back boost, losing about 0.3 seconds. Back in 2011, the only way to avoid this back boost really was to hope that you just got boosted right through it. Your invincibility frames from the forward boost would help you avoid taking the back boost. However, by 2017, we learned that the drone is actually on somewhat of a cycle. This means that based on how much of the opening cutscenes you watch, you can cause the drone to be cycling around in just the correct spot that it could miss you if your run is 101 pace. The drone cycles kind of work in 2-second groups, so if your run was 102 pace or 1 minute pace, you'll likely get back boosted. If your run's 101 or 103 or 105 pace, you likely will avoid that back boost. It seems that the aforementioned run of Oscar P may actually have been 1 minute pace, or close to it, as he received 5 boosts before that point, resulting in him getting the drone back boost. Now, it still ended up being a 101, so this really was close to 1 minute. Ultimately, whoever does really seriously go for 1 minute will need to find a different cutscene cutting timing method to give themselves the best shot of avoiding that back boost on 1 minute pace. Only 7 players got the time of 101 before the drone back boost evasion technique was discovered, 2011 to 2017, and 30 more have done it since mid-2017. So suffice to say, this knowledge made the record much easier to achieve. Around the same time, this box boost was discovered too, ensuring that you can give yourself a boost at the top of the spiral here. Sometimes you'll just get naturally boosted past the box by guards anyways, but other times it is nice to know that there's at least one consistent boost that you can guarantee yourself regardless. These 2 discoveries are really what thrust Caverns Agent 101 from being a relatively uncommon record to becoming one of the more common records in the game today. So could we find anything else that may help us finally get that elusive 1 minute? Well, one interesting consideration is a recent discovery that purports to save about 0.2 of a second, nearly as good as an additional boost. During the TASPAP Horde project, the speedrunning savant White Ted and wingman Berg figured that if you throw a timed mine right here, it can pass away a couple of guards at the bottom of the spiral section. Because this spiral room is so large, and you spend a good deal of time in it, these guards being passed away does improve the frame rate, reducing lag, and therein lies the time save. This does make sense too, as Berg and Ted teamed up previously on a pass away guards to reduce lag technique, which was the final key in Berg achieving runway agent 21 seconds back in February 2020. This time around, both Berg and fellow runner BK would achieve Caverns Agent 101 with this mine on spiral technique. They had boost ratios of 4.0 and 3.0 respectively, on the lower end of the spectrum of Caverns Agent boost ratios. And so despite the small sample size, this does seem very promising. Could the mine on spiral technique be the final key needed for someone to unlock the astonishing, breathtaking, marvelous Caverns Agent 1 minute? Well, now that I've brought up the mines, might as well address something that every new viewer wonders when it comes to Caverns Agent. Why not just use the mines for self-boosts? Well, unlike Jungle or Facility, where you have remote mines and can easily detonate them by pressing A and B at the same time, the mines on Caverns are actually timed mines. These blow up 5 seconds after throwing them, and there's simply no angle where you can throw the mine 5 seconds up the spiral so that it detonates perfectly as you're running by. I mean, believe me, this has been tried over and over again for the past 25 years. It's pretty much the first strategy any intrepid new speedrunner attempts. There is this one technique that involves performing the weapon mixing trick and then throwing and shooting the mines as you run by, but this is exceedingly difficult, inconsistent, and may not even save time due to having to take some kind of unoptimal lines when performing the trick in the tunnel and creating a lot of lag. It does look really cool though, so who knows? At the end of the day, here's what I think a Caverns Agent 1 minute will look like. A 2-boost start, the lag-reducing spiral mine, a boost at the top of the spiral plus the box boost or guard boost in that room, the classic AR-33 boost towards the tunnel, a lucky boost through the tunnel, and then a great warp or even a boost into the lift. A handful of players do have 101s with 6.0 boost ratio, and I think if these runs were strafed with the same skill and perfection as the runs that were 101 with 3 boosts, plus the lag-reducing spiral mine, that should be enough for 1 minute. It'll be a hell of a grind, and it would be heartbreaking to get a perfect 6 or 7 boost run and have it end up being 101, but we are in the 2020s after all, and Caverns Agent 1 minute would be a great record for a great new era. So my friends, is Caverns Agent 1 minute possible? Well, all signs point to yes. But will it happen this year or anytime soon? That much we do not know. It's a run that could happen on the very next decent run with the right conditions, moments after uploading this video. Or it's a run that still could take several more years, hundreds of speedrunners grinding 100 hours each, and still elude their grasp. And that, in a way, is the great intrigue of speedrunning. The quest for these speedruns that may forever escape us, lest some hero come along to seize the day and become a legend forever. So that's going to do it for this video. A huge thanks to everyone for watching. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss a new video about the epic and wonderful world of speedrunning. And if you're the one who gets Caverns Agent 1 minute, come back and make a comment and I'll be sure to give it a heart. Stay true, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.